Are we heard? Can we be heard? Hello. You can introduce me if you want. And I'm not too fussed. Yeah, we should be able to be heard. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you can be heard right now. Yeah, you can be heard.
Hello. This is Metal Gear Solid 2. And I'm gonna I started from the game select for two reasons. One was to clear the... That's a garbage pun. It's already started bad. It's 2 in the morning and I'm hyped up on energy drinks. Let's go.
Yeah.
So, this is Metal Gear Solid 2. I started from the game select for 2 reasons. One was to clear the cache because I don't want a loading trick run. You don't need to know about loading trick. You don't have to worry about it anymore. And 2 because, you know, we want to see all these beautiful, beautiful splash screens. Don't worry, you'll miss a lot, but you can watch the VODs. So, Metal Gear Solid 2, this is the second game. Not really. It's just labeled 2. Konami doesn't know how to count. But it's okay. So, I'm here with Python, or Pythonicus is his full name, and Raichu.
Hello.
Hello.
They know a little bit about Metal Gear Solid games.
Hello.
And Twitch TV null. Mad. Alright, so first thing I'm going to explain, well, I don't know, Python, you can explain this. Why are we loading a save, Python?
Alright, so in MGS2, there is a cutscene about, I don't know, 15 minutes in, 10 to 15 minutes in, that takes a very long time to run through. And by loading a save game...
It's about 20 minutes long, I think.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. And in order to actually skip this, we have to load a file that is New Game Plus or better, because the game then realizes, oh hey, you've played this before, you don't actually need this. So
exactly right. Now I'm playing New Game Plus Plus for some swaggy sunglasses. It doesn't actually affect the run on very easy. On hard difficulties, it does change a few things up. But for now it's not. So, Manix, I'm going to count down from 5, so you've got plenty of time. The second I press circle to get through this screen, we're going to start a time. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck, have fun.
Hey.
I'm gonna go get food, I'll be right back. I'll be back before Tanker's finished, probably, I hope.
I also hope. So,
alright.
Yeah, welcome. This is Tanker. Python,
yep.
Take it away.
Absolutely. So the game is split up into 2 sections. The first is a very short kind of prologue bit called the Tanker, because you're on a tanker. And it's going to last about 5 to 6 minutes. And we get to play a Solid Snake.
This is not the PC version. If this lasts 6 minutes, that's a record.
Oh, right. I forgot. I'm sorry. I've been playing too much of the PC version. So this will be probably closer to 10 minutes. But regardless, it's a very short section of the run. And it's going to be a lot different from the main part of the run. Because as Solid Snake, you don't really want to be rolling around too much.
Speaking of rolling around, Python, did you just see me roll through a cutscene trigger and the cutscene trigger not trigger?
Yeah, that happens.
I've never seen that happen in my life.
Yeah, it happens. So, Snake's roll has a bit of a recovery time to it, which actually takes longer than it would have just to run that same amount of distance. So we want to be rolling basically into loading triggers or cutscene triggers, as we were just talking about. That way, the recovery animation doesn't actually matter. So, coming up here, we're coming up on the first boss, Olga, who is a notorious troll for anyone who's actually speedrun this game. But if you haven't speedrun this game and you've only done it casually, she has a couple of different patterns she can do at the start of the fight. The one we really want to see is actually what she's doing here. She's going to the left side, and she's going to circle around and go right back to where she started from.
Yeah, I got it.
Nice. Yeah, and this is the Olga loop. On very easy and on any difficulty aside from like extreme and European extreme, loop is very, very inconsistent because it's very based on how far she sees, and in very easy, she doesn't see very far at all. But yeah, that's the loop that you can initiate. Otherwise, you kind of just have to know where she's going to be and aim accordingly.
So, fun fact, that shot that I shot the pallet well before she was anywhere near is intentional. That is not 100% consistent to get the loot going, but it does get her attention if she doesn't see you, so it does definitely up your chances.
Right. So after defeating Olga, we gain access to the USP, and we're gonna need that to go down to the engine room, which has been set up with a lot of explosives. And in order to take out the explosives, we need to check out some sensors. And long story short, the M9 doesn't cut it for that purpose. So we're just gonna make our way down to the engine room.
Yeah, so descent on very easy is kind of a cakewalk. There's not much to do. It's all just getting a movement down right and a couple of nice rolls like this one here where I will roll down the stairs. It will save a whole 0.1 of a second. But we're all about optimization here at Metal Gear Solid.
You didn't equip the camera.
I'd never equipped the camera there. And there's... Oh my gosh, I have stuck on the wall. I don't equip the camera in that role, because I just don't. Don't ask me why, Python. I equip it after I kill the last guard in Guard Rush. It does the same job.
Fair enough. So, this is, again, on very easy, which is the fastest difficulty for several reasons, but one of the main reasons is because the alerts don't stick through loading zones or anything, as well as guards taking one shot to tranquilize. But that also means that a lot of the timing devices. Whoa! A lot of the timing devices that we have to use in harder difficulties don't really matter as much in very easy. Of course, there's still several that do, but on very easy, it's a much safer run. That being said, the current top times are incredibly insane, and very easy has become incredibly difficult by just sheer execution necessary.
Yeah, it's when I first started running this game, I was running the PC version on very easy, where there was maybe like 3 super good times, and then a certain man by the name of D-Limes came along and ruined it for everybody. And started smashing records left, right, and center. So now we have him to deal with. But one thing I will mention is, so there is technically 3 releases of this game. There is the original Sons of Liberty, there's Substance, and then there's High Definition Collection, which is what I'm playing right now.
Speaking of Limes, hi Limes.
Yeah, Limes is here.
So this is the ambush, or the guard rush, however you like to call it. On very easy, there are 6
Well, I bugged that up, but it's okay.
By killing the last 3, we caused them to, we caused the game to cut out before they despawn, which actually doesn't make them count as kills. Yeah. It doesn't matter for very easy, but it's interesting trivia.
We're gonna kill a lot of people. Next thing is our first glitch of the game, and pretty much the only glitch you're gonna see me do. It's called ladder glitch, and it makes Snake behave really weirdly by forcing him into first-person mode when interacting with the ladder. He really doesn't like it, and he flops around like a fish. And so we can skip that ladder climb. If you were to just jump off the side, you will fall into a death plane that is only triggered by letting go of the railing. So messing that up causes a game over, so I'm glad I didn't mess that up.
There's also the fact that if you screw up any of the inputs, you lose all collision with everything, and you can just kind of bunny hop with your legs on either side of your head forever.
It looks very funny. If it wasn't a waste of time to show you, I would totally show you purely for you.
The first time I saw it, I think I died a little bit.
Another bit of a glitch. This is more a design oversight than a glitch. And that was thanks to the game being moved into 16:9 from the original 4:3 of the PS2. The hitboxes for these photos are all messed up. You're supposed to take 4 photos from 4 very different positions. But I just decided to take them from 3 positions, and this last photo of, like, the arm just counts. Like, we have no idea why. Like, we have no real explanation.
It's probably something to do with the way the triggers are placed and how they have to be moved for HDC.
Yeah, that's very possible.
The interesting part about that is that the PC version also has a widescreen mod, as well as several other fixes to actually make it playable, but we don't talk about that. But the widescreen mod does about the same thing as the HDC did, so I'm assuming it's just they didn't even move the triggers at all. It's just kind of what happened when they stretched it to 16:9.
Yeah, it was like unforeseen things. Now, this was probably one of like the biggest disappointments in Metal Gear Solid history for the old fanboys. As you can probably tell already, the person on this mask, it's definitely not Snake. And because Snake definitely can't do this, and by do this I mean really make the game freak out using the same principle as the ladder glitch. This doesn't really save a whole lot of time. If I get this ladder climb perfect, which it wasn't bad, it will save some time, but Snake definitely can't swim in air. Like, it's just a thing. Doors don't exist whilst we're swimming in air, neither does that cutscene trigger, so that guard's just gonna continue sitting down. That's a swag strat.
As far as the game is concerned, I don't think a Snake can swim at all.
No, he can't. If you mod Snake in on the PC version, and I've tried this for the lols, to places where Raiden should be, and you try and trigger an animation that Snake doesn't have, game will flat crash. So if you try and give Snake a sword, game crashes. Try and get him to swim, game crashes. We have the Pixels for Peace. Shout out Pixels for Peace. That's a code name for this run.
So, as I stated at the beginning of the run, we're now actually out of the tanker. We're in the plant chapter, and this is going to be the majority of the run, if you couldn't tell from the estimate. And Raiden here operates completely differently than Snake does. In fact, rolling is our best friend. We're going to be cartwheeling all over the dang place and going fast.
Exactly. So these guys are going to wake up soon. Somebody who we don't know who is, we have no idea who is, has knocked them out. Somehow, a runner by the name of Patchy Smash found out that letting this dude wake up and call in a caution makes the elevator come faster. Who knows why? So now we just wait for the elevator, which comes faster for whatever reason. I don't know why that's a thing.
I don't know. I know nothing. I know nothing.
Yeah, I think this was only found out by accident recently. So one thing you will notice is we're gonna get a lot of calls from our quote-unquote friends. And, we want to answer those as soon as possible. You can answer them, some of them, on the perfect frame by holding select before the call comes in. And it will automatically just answer it for you. Like that one I put in there was just perfect timing. I don't mean to brag. It's one I've practiced a lot though. It pretty much, if you press it right after you roll, you can get it for free.
Yeah, a lot of speedrunning this game comes down to learning where the codex and where the cutscenes are. That way you can skip them effectively and efficiently. But the other major chunk of it is knowing the pathing, knowing the route, more or less. Some of the bosses have patterns that in order to go fast, you should probably learn a pattern or two.
Here's some comedic value. Sorry to interrupt you. Say hello to this guy and say goodbye to this guy. We're never going to see him again. He's gone for good.
Oh no.
He will never return. For some reason, on Very Easy, he just never respawns. just stays in the depths forever. We should name him Python. We don't have a name for that fella.
We'll come up with something.
No, we won't. Okay, so, we've just met Not Snake. He's not Snake, he's Iroquois Pliskin. Ever seen the movie Escape from Los Angeles or Escape from New York? You've got the reference down pat. He's just given us a USP, which is our lethal gun for Raiden section of the game, or our lethal pistol anyway. And this has some uses, but for now it's kind of useless. Also, fun fact, if you finish the game, finish the tanker section with the USP equipped, when you get the SOCOM, instead of making you equip the SOCOM, it will equip the M9 for you, so that saves us a menu. How good's that?
You know, that's something I didn't actually know.
That was an accident. I didn't purposely figure this out, it just happened once, and I was like, okay. Gary would have to slide him up. I can do that. There's a bit of cutscene mashing I'm gonna do in a second, so I can turn Python up. So speaking of cutscenes, this whole cutscene is the reason we New Game Plus. This fella, his name is Peter Stillman. He's gonna give us a tutorial on how to defuse bombs, but as you can probably guess, I've done this a few times. I know how to defuse a bomb. I'm an expert now. So if you ever have a bomb in your household, give me a buzz. I'll come and freeze it.
Yeah, and this starts the first major section of the plant, the bomb disposal. You have to go the entire way across the first section of the big shell and take out bombs, which will be freezing because proper defusal isn't for amateurs.
That's exactly.
This isn't my words, by the way. This is Peter Stillman's words,
Oh,
words of an expert.
Movement is hard.
Yeah, that'll happen. The collision for rolling against walls operates a little strangely sometimes. Sometimes using the exact same angle, you can roll into a wall and continue, or roll into a wall and come to a dead stop. No one knows why. It just kind of happens.
So chaff grenades in this game are a thing, and boy are they overpowered.
Yeah, the same is true for a lot of the MGS games, but MGS2 is one of the better examples. And also there was a small little thing we kind of glossed over there, but while Iridescence was opening the trapdoor to clear that bomb out, the guard tried to shoot him, but he had iframes because of cutscene. So small little optimization there.
You'll see some more iframe abuse in one of the bosses, quote-unquote bosses, I guess. I don't really consider her a boss. You can't actually really beat her, per se, but we'll abuse iframes. He'll never hit us. And coming up very soon is going to be our next trick, and it is called the Coolant Rise, and you'll see that in just a moment after I pick up the box. Actually, Python says that way better.
Yeah, the box. The last word in infiltration technology. So
Snaky. Not Snake, it's Pliskin, not Snake.
Right, yes. So to kind of explain Coolant Rise before we get there, because it's going to take a few seconds to explain it anyway. The way it works is that from a prone position, if you equip the coolant, go into first-person mode because of the coolant, and then hit the crouch button and the weapon button at the same time, there's actually no animation for doing such a thing with the coolant equipped. So you basically get the speed of the rise, and you get free movement because of taking the coolant off at the same time. It's very, very useful.
And it's super easy.
Yeah. Anyone can actually take a look at that and do it. It's that simple. It's literally R2 and then R2 and X at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. One thing I will mention in this game that is a thing, and it's one of the most annoying things to play this game. It's a thing called crack crouching. But before I get on crack crouching, I'm actually going to explain this bridge because this is a strat that I found on Wednesday, and hopefully it works because this will save some good time. And I call this the fast EF. Now, if this works, I'm going to step onto mine and it's going to blow up, but I'm not going to blow up. So yeah, let's have a crack at this one. Well, one of them did it. Doesn't matter. I messed it up. I blew up the wrong mine. But the idea is the same. It worked. Kind of.
So, seam crouching, or as Iridescence like to call it, crack crouching. Seam crouching is when you're in the intersection of two textures, and you try to roll, Raiden will just kind of crouch instead, even if you're moving at full speed. Which if you are... Go ahead.
It almost always forces you to go prone because you're holding a direction button. Also, have a laugh at this fella. He's just dumb.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, if you're tilting the stick only a little bit in order to walk, you'll crouch. But if you're running, you should never crouch. So seam crouching can always, 90% to 100%, it will catch you off guard, and it's just kind of annoying. But it's something you have to deal with, unfortunately, with this game. I'm not sure if it's present in the original releases on the PS2, but on a HGC and PC, it's.
I mean, it happens on non-VSFix for PC, sorry. So I can assume it is. All right, so this is a bomb we can defuse through a wall.
Yep, this requires some fairly precise positioning.
And I didn't get it first time because. There we go.
Yeah. You can use that white line as a kind of a guideline for a visual cue, but a lot of the top blokes in this run just kind of go for it, and most of the time it works out.
Normally I get it by lining up, but I just missed it ever so slightly. And there's a codec here that everyone always forgets about. I'm very easy. Also, if you have been paying any attention, you've probably noticed my game is not in English. No, it is not. The Japanese version is slightly faster. Is it really that much faster that it's really considered relevant? That's debatable. I got the Japanese version because it was cheaper than the the PAL version, which is my local version. But also the voices are just better. Raiden sounds so much better in Japanese. No disrespect to Quentin Flynn. He does a great job of Raiden in Rising, but in this game, it's just he sounds like a little bitch. Also, ciphers. That's a thing.
Ciphers. Yeah. Those are those little camera drones that we keep running into every now and then. But we have one last bomb to take care of here in Strut C, and then we will have officially been finished with the bomb disposal portion, and then we get a little bit of a boss rush in the mid-game, and then it kind of spaces itself back out again.
Can you give me a rough idea of time, Python, at this point?
About 21 and a half minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no,
it says as
not
he's
bad
too
at all.
far away from a bomb to defuse it. So yeah, that's the last bomb, but guess what? It's all aroused. All those bombs are useless. They were never designed to actually destroy the big shell. But defusing all those bombs has set off a much bigger, much more dangerous bomb somewhere else. Which we now need to go get.
So, in a little interesting tidbit about the speedrun, here we are, we have been given a timer to get down to Strut A, the bottom where we started the plant. And the trigger only happens once you've grabbed the sensor for the scentless bombs, or the big sensor that Iri picked up in the cafeteria there. If you don't grab that sensor, you cannot progress. So that is why on all routes of this game, speedrun, we save the strut C bomb for last. Because it'll save a cutscene, and it puts us where we need to be anyway. So, gonna make our way back down to the strut A docks, deep sea docks.
And to just verify, if you guys will never use that sensor ever in our life.
Oh no, absolutely not. So, sensor A, the one he's got equipped right now, that gives us a mini-map and a visual representation of the bombs. Sensor B does not have that. It is sound cues and vibrations of your controller. So, it's basically useless aside from the fact that it's only meant for use for one bomb anyway.
Yeah.
But since we know where that is, we don't really need to bother with it.
Two bombs, because you're supposed to use it for the bomb underneath Fat Man, I think. But, no one's fooling us.
Yeah.
So, I will just mention, can I have an F in chat for Peter Stillman? He just went kaboomy in that cutscene. He blew up. Dead. We'll see him again in a little while, though.
First mention, he's dead. So yeah, that is your big bomb. It doesn't look much bigger than a normal bomb, but yeah, there you have it.
It's all about the positioning.
And I don't... Call me crazy, but I don't think that was bound to destroy the big shell either on the bottom of that sub. So we're emptying our SOCOM mag here to avoid a cutscene that triggers, because we're going to be abusing iframes on this next boss fight, quote unquote. And to do that, we need to pop out of cover with a weapon and pop back in, because while Raiden is in motion between cover and the exposed state, he actually has iframes, and we're going to abuse the ever-loving anything out of it. So Fortune here, you can't actually kill her. You see her tiny health bar. That makes no difference. You can't deplete it in any way. So instead, we just pass the time by dancing on the target.
Exactly. If you actually do shoot at her and take longer because it plays a cutscene of the moment just doing like, what's that movie? Is it Wanted?
Wanted,
curve,
yeah.
Curve the bullet. As you can see, like the railgun will just ignore me. Like this one's simply just go straight through my head. Right, so
Yeah,
now we move ever so slightly.
So, I forget the exact reason why we go closer.
The idea is that hopefully she'll hit that barrel, but if she doesn't, there we go. We want her to hit that barrel because she destroys the vehicle time faster.
Ah, yes.
The reason you go closer, by the way, Python, it was a PS2 strat for lag reduction.
Ah, yes, that too. That does make
It
sense.
just kind of stuck, I guess, on PS3.
So, this is going to be the first example of how the box can distort my hitbox. If I blow up, that's because I'm bad. It's a very big chance that I will blow up. But we'll see. Oh! Never mind, I got damage cancel on the mine. I'll take that.
Yo. So yeah, that is a very tricky claymore to get past on the best of days. And, if you blow up, that's not terrible. It's only a couple of seconds, but it's still frustrating and a little embarrassing.
Fun fact, if you stay on the bottom side of this bridge, like close to this rail, this guy will just never see us. If you go to the top half of the bridge, he will see you.
Yeah. So I suppose it's worth mentioning that the reason that is because that guard actually turns slightly left before turning around. We don't play with radar in most cases in this game, because we have to unlock it using the nodes in each strut, which is slow. But if we had radar on, you would actually see that he does take that tiny little turn left, which is weird, and it doesn't really make much sense, but, you know, I guess he's a car.
Yeah, he has, like, you'll see it, whenever I get off a wall. Raiden will not turn around, he will go in a small, like, little annoying circle. Unless you like tap the D-pad for him to turn on the spot and then go around. So yeah, you'll see it specifically ever. I don't think you'll see it now. You only would have seen it when the game forces me against a wall. And I'm pretty sure for the rest of the run it's not going to do anything.
So after Fortune, another bomb popped up on the Strut E heliport, which you may have noticed there was a plane here before. It's gone now. But there's a bomb here.
Screw that
Again.
plane.
So this is the trigger for our next boss fight, Fat Man. So on very easy, he's going to take about 4 shots to go down, or three or 4.
Oh, you were right.
And we want to knock him down as much as possible so that we can take a couple of headshots. And on very easy, yeah, 3 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna walk this way so he goes through us, and he's dead. That's the boss fight, boys.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy boss on, well, very easy. On anything higher, he control you a bit, but it's still not the worst thing in the world.
He's also a bomb.
It's time to start the party.
Oh yeah, if you don't, you don't see it, but he always has a glass of wine with him. He's that guy.
Yeah, you know, the guy at the party wearing a bomb blast suit and roller skates. He skates everywhere, even upstairs. It's kind of a problem.
He grinds like he's like.
Why are you talking about me during the run, dude? What the hell?
He grinds along the edge of like the heliport. Like you don't see it because I killed him too quick, but he will fool whatever the Tony Hawk equivalent of like roller skating is, grind around the edge.
He'll jet set radio all across the stage.
Yeah. So in this cutscene, it's going to explain some things that we need some help with from this ninja. Now, if you've played Metal Gear Solid 1, this is not the same ninja. Do not fool yourself. But
what? Are you sure?
But I would hope so. But they're going to give us a thing, and that thing is an enemy uniform. We're going to wear it.
Yeah, I just had a thought. Why was Fat Man not a character in MGS2 skateboarding?
You know?
You know what?
Konami, why?
Oh, there you go. I'm on a wall. Yeah, Konami, that's a perfect opportunity. He could have been a boss fight. Like, you had to outpoint him.
Yeah, you have to outskate him. You have to out combo him or something.
Alright, so as you can yeah, okay. Aside from skateboarding, we have the BDU. I don't know what BDU stands for.
Battle dress uniform.
Oh, thank you. There you go. I've learned more. Someone want to explain the BDU? Oh no, what have I done?
Right, you can take this one. Or I guess I'll do it.
No, it's okay. Sorry, I was just... Oh. The BDU, like Iridescence said, actually, before we see anything, this is a cool idea that Iridescence has, because when you're wearing the box, you can't get stun locked, so you use it to get across the bridge safely.
Yeah, if you get shot on the, if you get shot whilst you're on a piece of falling bridge, it guarantees your death. And I got hit by a mine, and I still swear that the hitboxes of mines in this game are out to get me. But yeah, it causes an alert.
So we ignored the ninja. We didn't watch the cutscenes. Not that would have mattered because it was in Japanese. But this uniform in particular, it's only useful in the Shell 2-1 core with an AK to disguise ourselves as an enemy soldier. So long as we don't cartwheel around, hold people up, punch people, or any other kind of like suspicious activities, we won't have any Russian, Japanese people come over and ask us what we're doing.
And by saying that, as you're gonna see, I'm gonna cartwheel a lot anyway. I don't care about their opinion of me.
Yeah, because I'm very easy to can't really see very well. Just don't do it in there.
Also, like, shoutouts to movement that looks harder than it is.
But yeah, and it does serve some off-label uses. After you've finished using it in the Shell 1 core, if you get caught on fire, you can equip it to take the fire away. If you get wet footprints, you snap it on and off, it will get rid of your footprints. Not that that matters because you can't get wet anywhere there's patrols, but still, it's cool, I guess. You don't want to be leaving a mess everywhere. Oh, and I also think that if you run on a noisy floor, which also doesn't happen
Ever?
anywhere it matters at least.
It only happens in the tanker.
Well, if you were running on the AB bridge with uniform equipped, I'm pretty sure the noise doesn't distract the guards because it sounds like them. But
right, they're that good. They can't see, but boy, can they hear.
It's true though.
All right. So we're in a room that we just used somebody else's eyes to get into. This is the hostage room, and we're looking for Ames. Ames has a brown mullet, and so we're gonna go looking for it. And because this is a marathon, he's gonna be as far away as possible.
Oh yes, of course.
Like literally as far away as possible. Oh, do not see me. Okay, he saw me, but I got to the cutscene trigger fast enough.
Yeah. So that is for simplicity's sake, we're gonna call that completely random. It is on a frame count from when you I believe it's from when you enter the Shell 1 core.
The position relies on a lot, like, because it's seed based, and your console's timer, like your time of clock on your console, can affect.
Wrong.
I'm pretty sure. Look, it doesn't matter. But the point is, we'll call it random for argument's sake. And
wrong. It's Aim's position is determined on the frame you entered the hostage room. I had it talking about console clocks. That's likely brilliant because you can have like old lady spawn, Jennifer, office guy, stuff like that. Ames is a frame.
So Ames is... Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I abused iframes on the elevator there, so that guy wouldn't shoot me.
Which basically means he's, like, you can't manipulate Ames in an RK run, which is annoying.
It's all luck.
Because, like, Iridescence's got a pretty rough Ames. So, like, some runs can come down to... What kind of Ames did you have? Was your Ames really bad?
It's always bad.
Uh-oh, I've just lost 600 years. Nightmare. Best game though. Everyone should speedrun it.
It's the only RNG in the run, to be fair. All the guard placements, positioning, timings is all 100% consistent. It's all based upon your own movement. So we picked up a gun. This is a sniper rifle, and we're going to use this sniper rifle to not shoot somebody, but something, and that something is sensors. One particular sensor that's on a cipher, because these terrorists, man, they've blown my mind on their creativity of putting the bomb controller on top of a flying camera that can probably crash at any given moment, and if it does crash, all the bombs explode.
Yeah, you know, it's security. So it's kind of a parallel to the engine room in the tanker, in which you need an item to do the thing to not explode. And so we have tried to shoot this one specific sensor without the PSG-1, but everyone at this point is pretty sure it's impossible. The cipher is just ever so slightly too far away to hit with anything but the sniper rifle. And beside that, the aim it would take to actually use anything but the sniper rifle was nothing short of miraculous. Can I please speak today?
And like, believe it or not, this is one of the first games I ever played that included travel time for bullets. So
what a game, dude!
So
it's basically
this is
the sniper
sensors.
conundrum.
Now, if I hit that cipher, it's an instant game over. There is no second chances. There is no continues, my friend. Actually, there is a continue, but...
I was actually gonna say...
Sure, if the cipher's life reaches 0, the game is over.
So,
No
I'm gonna ask for some quiet for this dumb boss. I hate this boss. This boss can, like, die in the river. Sad thing is, this plane can fly through the water like no tomorrow, so it doesn't even matter. But
In before 3-shot.
it'll be a 4-shot. Don't you curse me. I can't 5-shot, but Raichu, you can explain this boss fight.
Oh, you told me to be quiet.
Well, explain it and don't talk to me.
So like, the Harrier is that. It's like, everyone knows that guy. That's the Harrier. Nobody likes him. You have to put up with him every time you do the game, though. A 4-shot is kind of like, what he was trying to do there was wait a certain amount of time before skipping the cutscene, and you can get like 2-3 shots because lock-on nonsense. It makes no sense.
Yeah, you can lock on during the cutscene, but it's incredibly tight. Oh no,
The fastest way to do this fight is to finish him at those, we call them die shots.
you should be able to get him here though.
The slowest is if he goes to the missile. Well, no, that's not true. The slowest is if he goes to the machine gun.
And that's not a great Harrier, but it's not a terrible Harrier.
No,
It could
that's
have been
not-
worse.
that's not bad at all.
I mean, I got given out to before for making the Harrier too difficult because I was finding too many things. Like, Iridescence did a 4-shot, but you can do like a 6-shot, which is stupidly difficult and inconsistent, in my opinion.
Also,
But
shoutouts to Leap of Faith, because if I die, it'll be here.
Oh no! Don't say these things.
I'm fine. It's good. I've never died to that in a run, by the way. That's why I
That
said
angle
it.
gave me the fear, dude. Jesus Christ, you were so close.
So, tiny little insignificant time save is if you avoid the discolored tiles, the floor will fall, but the cutscene associated with it won't play. So you can just skip over that entirely. And you may notice Iridescence is no longer wearing the BDU at this point. That's by design, because for whatever reason, entering the Shell 2 core with the BDU on wastes tons of time in loading.
I
And
don't
no
know.
one
Shout out to
knows why.
Raichu's race.
Do you wanna know a not very fun fact? It also slows down the cutscene.
Really?
Mashing on this ledge restarts my step animation, makes me move faster. Pretty simple stuff. Throwing the chaff grenade and intentionally getting seen stops a cutscene of a dude about here pissing on our heads.
Dude, you need to watch your time with this.
That's what he does.
For the children!
He will urinate on our noggin. Is that better? I crack rolled. What do you know? I crack trash. Fun times.
So
Yeah, the optimal strat for this bridge here is roll 3 times and then throw the chaff as you're going up the stairs, because you can't cartwheel again until you're halfway up the stairs. But there's the aforementioned Shell 2 core that Python was talking about.
yep.
Yeah.
There's like 30 seconds of a difference between no BDU and BDU, so it is actually that bad. Like, it's like Iridescence at the codec right now. If he was wearing the BDU, he'd still be skipping cutscenes.
Yeah, like legit taking
That's
the
not a
BDU off is a strat.
Yeah, it's actually like it's an imperative part of the run. And if you're at like high level, wearing the BDU into Shell 2 core is almost worth the reset.
I
you're
would
on-
reset it. If I made that mistake, it deserves a reset.
Yeah, that's what it's like 30 seconds down the drain, you know.
Alternatively, you can menu one up to the phone, and then take the time loss associated with that.
Get a text message. So we were given a phone by the ninja. You'll never see it, but if you happen to get like a text message whilst you have it equipped, you will actually have to read it, and that's a time loss. Also, this is a remote control missile launcher. This is the tech of the future, and we're gonna use it to not. Oh
Check
my
the
lord.
future. Today.
Yeah.
Today.
So we're gonna
today,
use this not
today.
to, again, not to kill someone, but something. And that something is a control box that is holding the president hostage. Not the control box, but the electric floor it controls.
The control box is holding the president hostage. Not again, dude.
well, it is, because the president...
Damn it, this is the 10th time!
The president, well, aside from being held hostage, is sometimes really over people's shit. And by saying that, he will run in front of the missile. Like, I'm not kidding. He can and he will really just commit seppuku on that missile.
Sometimes he goes and backflips into it.
Oh, I got shot whilst I fired the missile, which cancels the control. It's just a silly thing. See, watch, he will run in front of it. Whoa! I've never seen him do that before.
I just told you he would backflip into it.
I've never seen him backflip.
Whoa!
Well,
Whoa!
He dodged it. Whoa! But
Couldn't be any worse than that time where he, I'll not forget for a long time, a run where he ran, the missile went through him as he ran towards it, and my life flashed before my eyes as he ran, as the missile just phased through him as though he was a hologram, which just kind of further cements the fact that...
Alright, so we have a lot of cutscenes to go through here, so Vin, if there's any donations, read them out, man. If you're there, Vin.
Yeah. Wake up. You better not be asleep. Wake up!
That witch, she's took my clothes. I hate Alaska.
Send some replacement Nords to the area.
Alright, Vin isn't here.
Send some replacement hosts to the area.
So all the time we had to do cutscenes, I've pretty much skipped. By the way, he would have just said, well, you can do some now. I'm just going to be doing some walking anyway. And some swimming.
Bring your computer with you next time, Dan.
Go nuts.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about at this point. It's just swimming and...
Yeah, it's very boring. I don't even do the cool glitch because it's too hard.
Sorry about that, everybody. So we have 2 more donations. This from I'm just gonna spell it FROS 7YTSM. $5, no comment. And then Skunky 40.
Frosty TSM. That is a personal friend of mine.
Oh, okay, Frosty TSM. There you go. Skunky voted for something. Looks like Skunky put $4 towards Dawn in TMT4 because he doesn't want to see the regular supper. Again, sorry about that, everybody. I apologize, but yeah, those are all the donations that we have as of right now.
Cheers. So, cheers for Frosty the Snowman. He's a very good mate of mine. So we're swimming. I'm not doing swim glitch as you heard Raichu say. It saves 18 seconds if you get it perfect. I will eat those 18 seconds to save a year. Because that's how long it will take me to get it. And right now I'm on a deathless run, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to drown. Speaking of which, Stillman's in here. The black guy that got blown up, he's dead now. He tried to defuse the bomb. He failed, so he went boom. As you can hear, we're drowning. Whilst we're opening doors, like the actual animation, the iframes work for O2 as well, so we can't actually drown whilst we're opening a door. And next up is Vamp. Now, I have to credit Raichu for this one, because I do use what he calls the Rai method, and he can explain this.
Actually, it's called the Raikou, and I'm not the one who called it that, it was somebody else.
Well, it's the Rai method now, I've changed it.
Well, I'm changing it back. Yeah, so, when you shoot Vamp with the Stinger,
oh, and
as well as
prepare for lag.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not as bad as boss rush though, oh my days. But similar to your character, you get iframes from a shot. So do bosses. So if you notice when Vamp gets hit.
No, Vamp, why you do this to me?
So you would have seen Vamp had the damage done to him was represented by a red bar. And as that bar fades, the iframes will finish. So that's when you want to take your next shot. This Vamp trick is pretty.
I measured it out, it's 5 frames. You have 5 frames, but like the frame rate is pretty ass, so it's not too bad. Can you just take a hit, bro? Holy cow. Dude, he just... What is he doing?
This is what happens when you spend your full health.
So, welcome to our Let's Play of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, this is the giant... Oh my god, he just did the fucking shadow twice. Where did he go? Dude, this boss fight is... There we go. Fuck me. Sorry for the swearing, but Jesus Christ.
I'm embarrassed for you, dude.
That's not gone well. I should have killed myself
you
and
think?
reset. I really should have killed myself and reset that because I shouldn't have missed the shot. But in saying that, I've done the speedrunning of this game for almost so long. I cannot remember how to fight him correctly, like casually. And also he just decided that he didn't want to take damage from my missiles, so screw him. So now he's done for now. I'm gonna go meet Emma. Emma is voiced by my favorite voice actor ever, Jennifer Hale. She does a lot of Metal Gear characters. She does Female Shepherd. Everybody hates her. I like her, and I don't care what you have to say about this, Raichu. Your opinion is invalid in terms of...
What? Didn't even know my damn Malboy. Good lord.
If there is like a new donation to read,
A lot of
this is the
cutscenes in
perfect
Codex.
time. This is just
Actually,
this is
maybe-
the escort mission of this game.
maybe hold on to them for sniping.
Sniping, yeah, Twilight sniping.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when.
Because that's a longer period.
It's 5 minutes of it's a 5 minutes of standing around on this difficulty. Like,
Yeah.
I ran this game at another marathon a couple of weeks back. I literally had enough time to go to the bar, get a beer, and come back. That's...
Yeah, I'd say hold on to it because it's the biggest. Yeah, we'll hold on because there is a little bit to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
he did leave Emma behind because you don't have to drag her.
not there you don't, but
Guessing-
everywhere else you do.
The reason for that is because they haven't actually explained how you bring Emma with you at that point. It's, I think, in this conversation here, the Colonel explains to hold the action button.
Which is triangle for all you non-Metal Gear players. You hold triangle, and you hold her hand, and this is great game design. You walk across a room, and you go through another 3 minutes of cutscenes. Actually, I think watching these cutscenes is nearly 10 minutes to get through this room. Like, casual playthrough.
To answer the codec, push the select button. When we want to reach you, contact you,
Can't we just,
codec will beep.
like, not care and just ignore them? Would we just, like, AWOL?
Huh?
We'd just be AWOL. Let's ignore them. I wish we could. Imagine how much time we would save by not having to deal with codecs. So, we're swimming back to where we came from now, and we have Emma, and as you can see, Emma's ability to hold her breath is garbage, and we're going to ignore it, we're going to drown her anyway. As long as her health bar doesn't drop below the A in her name, we'll be okay. If she does, she'll get really tired every time we let go of her hand, and she'll sit down, and it takes forever to get back up.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't drop below the letter A in her name. we're good.
She also doesn't like bugs, and we don't care. By we don't care, domestic violence is not okay, I do not condone it, but
If you're sensitive, please look away now.
if you're sensitive, please look away now.
You don't actually have to choke her a second, that, by the way.
No, you don't have to choke it to get across there. The intended method is that you use the coolant spray.
No, I'm saying you tighten the hole, you don't have to do that.
Oh. I just do it anyway, just in case.
Are you using teleportation, by the way? Or?
I am definitely using teleportation, but I'm using this version.
This is a cool trick that was, I don't know whether to say found or dug up again by Tyler 2022. Little known runner, doesn't really run the game that much anymore. So if you leave Emma in certain spots, so you can leave her in that little room like Iridescence did, or you can like push her up against the wall at the right place. If you leave the core and come back, she spawns to the nearest safe point, which, given her coordinates at the time, is the president's room. So it saves you having to like drag her all the way along, and on higher difficulties you skip a cutscene.
It's even on very easy, you skip the same cutscene. This guard will still
cool.
appear on very easy.
Yeah, so you just kind of avoid some guards, avoid some cutscenes, and you don't have to drag her quite as far. So it's pretty nice. And there is another little thing you can do. You can push her through the door here, which will spawn up a bit.
You can also
But
soft
you
lock
could
again.
soft lock, so
I
I was gonna
fast
say you
hand.
can soft lock, which is not good. That's bad.
I'd done it once in a race. Python has done it in a race.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That
Oh,
never
and
happened.
another super annoying thing about Emma is we can't have any weapon equipped whilst we drag her. Nothing. Not even a one-handed pistol or anything. You have to do it bare hand. And we're gonna drag you here and put out this fire with our handy dandy coolant spray. Menus are hard. Don't copy my menuing.
Yeah, so Raiden carries a portable fire extinguisher with him for a reason such as this.
Oh, not quite far enough. Cross that line. It works.
Yeah, if you leave her at like the right point, you can just go straight to the door, which is pretty nice. It's just these little time saves, you know, but they do add up. They're not insubstantial, but time save is time save. Strudel is the hardest room in the game, as everyone knows. And a fun fact about this room: if you cause one of the guards to what's the word?
Call for backup.
Yes, and you interrupt their call. Usually, what the commander would say, and I'm saying the English version, he'd be like, "What's going on? Respond. We've lost communications with insert area here. Backup unit, check it out." Well, for whatever reason, for Strudel, he just repeats it twice, and then
Does
says,
he?
"Backup unit, go investigate." So
Does
it's like,
he? Okay, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So and he'll say, "What's going on? Respond. What's going on? Respond. Backup unit, carry out an investigation immediately." And it's like, what the hell? Like, I guess they were too lazy to program. What's funny is, because if you do it on the KL bridge, he'll say, "Trouble in the KL bridge, check it immediately." But Strudel, no, not saying a word. That area doesn't exist. So, I don't know if that's the same on the piece. Yeah, sniping, best part.
Alright, this is your time to shine for that donation, by the way. This is just sniping ciphers and people.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap, I guess.
We have...
Alrighty. We actually do have a couple donations. Man Over Mars donated $10 and he says, "Help them kiddos." Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Chrysler donated $20 and says, "Big love from a Swedish fellow. Awesome event." Their sparks are up on some so I feel like you need to know that. Their hearts. So those are all donations right now. So let's watch some
Less than
snipe.
3.
Yeah, well, no, thank you for donating. Because kids are defenseless, man, and disadvantaged kids have no real way of making their own situation better, so... Oh, shit. There's a guy here. I've just lost time, because I forgot to kill a dude.
You do this.
Because I was listening to the donation. I've lost, like,
Oh, in that case, it's fine.
like 10 seconds.
It's okay because you were killing charity.
And I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. But so the thing is here is now there will be a couple of ciphers that spawn above us, which we can just shoot as they fly down. And I don't even know where it's gone. I'm not under any real time constraint here. I can on this difficulty. On higher difficulties, there's a lot more ciphers. There's a lot more guards. Ciphers are more tanky, and the whole perimeter is hit with mines that you have to shoot.
Well, I think there's the same amount of ciphers. It's just there's less guards to focus on, so you have more time to deal with the ciphers. As well as the fact ciphers die in one shot, so it just flies by.
Yeah. Also, look at Snake's swaggy sunglasses, and look how good he can aim with them.
He doesn't even use Phantasm. Legend has it. Watch where you're aiming.
Such a good shot, man.
Watch where you're aiming.
There's literally nothing to do now. We can try and climb up the ladder, but we'll get a codec call. We can shoot birds. We can make our girlfriend mad, which is Rose. She's the one that's been asking us to save a lot. Of course, you didn't know she's asking us to save because it's in Japanese. That's what she's doing.
If you're satisfied, get back to the mission.
Get back to the mission, Raiden.
I had no idea you were this kind of a monster.
Yeah, you can shoot the
Best game, dude. Best game.
yeah, you can I better shoot these guys because they're about to appear. You can shoot the birds and the Rose will get mad. Another thing the birds can do, and Python is well experienced with this, is they can body block.
Yeah, it just kind of solidifies the fact that, you know, birds are arseholes.
Yeah, this
They
is
can
why
get in
we
the
do
way
a
of your
check.
shots.
This is why we donate to save the birds, not save the children, not save the birds. Oh man, I'm such a good player.
Oh, that's too big.
Now, Python, whilst we have Emma strolling around, have you anything to say? If you're still there, Python.
I think he might be away for a minute because he's muted.
Fair enough. Well, Python's not here, so I have literally one more cipher to deal with, and it's not going to spawn until Emma's about, I don't know, here. So we can just
Since
walk around.
Python's not here, we can embarrass him a tad.
Can you?
Oh,
So
ring!
I'm gonna shill a marathon, and Mannix can fight me over it. In the first weekend of May, we're having a fundraising marathon for our boy Python. He's having a little bit of house trouble at the minute. We won't get into details. You can just read all about it on the MGS2 page. It'll be the 3rd to the 5th of May. We're accepting submission from outside of the community for a change, which is rare, with no prior stipulations. Because I know there's a number of runners who are involved in this marathon who just love to submit the marathon. So
Yeah,
it's
and
for a good cause.
I
Not a child, but
was very
like a
tired
child.
this morning, and I was talking to Raichu about this particular marathon, and I had some rather colourful words in regards to Python's fan lady.
If you say them on stream, dude, I'm banning you.
I'm not gonna say them on stream.
Good lord, you swore so many times right now.
I consider Python a good friend, and I don't like it when people fuck
Yeah.
over my friends, so
Dude, really?
I've gotta stop doing that. I'm Australian, it's like a natural thing that flows. So,
Honestly, if that happens once more, I'm server muting you, dude. Jesus. You're going into timeout.
we're almost done with the game, but we're up to our next boss, which is Vamp Iteration 2, and he's a really, really hard boss. I struggle with this every run.
Shoot him in the head.
If, oh my god, get Emma out of the way. Thank you. You shoot him in the head once and he dies. That's it. Only on very easy does he die in one shot. In easy he dies in two, and normal it's a lot more. You change strats at that point. But one thing we will see is if that gigantic pile of blood doesn't give it away, Emma was shivved. So
Nah, dude, it's shanked. It's shanked.
Shanked.
She was shanked with a shiv. Alright,
right.
come on.
I don't know
You
why.
should notice you've been to prison.
I don't know why, but they decided to have the courtesy to close the door behind them when their sister and best friend is like his sister and his best friend's sister is just bleeding out in their arms. But polite snake is polite, I guess.
It's
Man over Mars is correct. We need a damn swear jar for you, dude.
And I ran around
Every
in circles
swear,
as
I'm going back through this ball, and every swear you owe $1 to the charity.
If I
I'm
had
not
a
enough
dollar,
of a
if I
dollar
actually had a dollar, I would, but I'm really poor. So I used the
Okay.
chaff grenade so I could walk across the bridge. I ran around in circle a bit like a moron, just to buffer my movement so I didn't get seen. Doesn't really matter, but it's just a habit I've gotten into, and that's the end of the shell, by the way. We're done with the big
Get
shell.
out of here. Well, that's the run finished. That was quick.
No, the run's not quite finished. What's the time on this? So
looking at
far.
about just over an hour.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. So, it's now 3. You had to buy MGS3? Yeah. Not surprised. So, this is one of the points where she's going to ask us to save. We're not actually there, by the way. But we're gonna ignore it by pressing X. That's one advantage of the Japanese version that we get. You can mash X, to deny cutscenes because circle is your accept button. Also, this the game wants us to mash triangle to not choke to death. At this very moment, when Solidus chokes me, g'day Spidey. We can't actually lose health. You'll see my O2 bar gets to nothing, but my health will not deplete. And this is the same for every single difficulty. Like, this is not a very easy thing. It's every single difficulty. You don't have to mash here at all. It's all a rouse or ruse. It's ruse, isn't it?
Yes, yes, it is.
You Americans say ruse.
Well, I guess, like, you know, route, whichever you're happier to use.
Yes.
I'd be inclined to say route myself, and I think route just sounds stupid. Route is, you know, belongs in a garden.
Anyhow, so you're gonna see something. Aside from poor old Raiden being completely naked, don't worry, it's all censored.
Except the good parts.
Yeah. He's dummy thick. So Olga's come and give us a nice punch in the gut, but we're gonna see. Wow, Pythonicus has an emote for it. The only time in the whole run where we actually call somebody.
What?
We're gonna call Rose. Rose is who you call to save the game, but she's gonna call us at some point. If we wait around, but if we call her, we get out of this table faster. As you can see, you're gonna see some hardcore. What the f? I don't know what just happened there. You're gonna see some hardcore butt.
Some ass.
And so Python, I'll leave this up to you. Explain Tengus and what the Tengus are in this game, aside from really blind.
Alright, so, well, first off, earlier we mentioned how holding the select button through loading zones when you know there's a codec coming up answers that on the first frame. You use that there to get past that first guy. So Tengu, the Tengu are the specialized guard unit for the Arsenal gear, which is the actual Metal Gear of this game, by the way. You may think that's Metal Gear Ray, but you're wrong.
Wrong.
But Arsenal gear is where we are now, and the Tengu are the guys who are patrolling it, and we're gonna come up with a couple of, we're gonna come up on a couple of fights with them, because our super stealth operatives, Raiden and Snake, failed to super stealth their way through it. So
to be fair, do you expect a drone camera to just be flying around in a hallway filled with Metal Gears? Like, out of all
Always
this,
expect unexpected.
I guess. Not that the first lot of Tengus really matter, because doors are a myth. I'm sure you know in speedruns, in most games, doors are a myth at some point. And you'll see that in a moment. Also, I know how many codecs to answer based on by what appears in the top corner. Ignore that's just a picture of a girl asleep on a chair. But it will always be the 6th call we'll get will be from Rose, so there'll be one more, and directly after this call will be one from Rose. So I can just hold the select button after this call ends, and it will automatically answer it. And bam. Which means
Pretty nice that way.
it does, and also, this call triggers Raiden to walk ominously towards a door that I already knew we couldn't open, but he has to go double check it.
Yep. And we're at the first of the 2 required fights. And, well, we're not actually there yet, but we'll be there as soon as we're done being tutorialized on how to use a sword. But the gist of it is...
swing it once, and that's it.
Yeah. And, so, the way we're going to handle this fight is that we're not going to handle this fight at all. We're actually just going to not bother with it. It's completely unnecessary. Because loading zones are a thing. So, the way it's going to work is we're going to go to the far end of the hallway where the fight is. Not this one, thankfully. Could you imagine a fight in this hallway? Oof. But we're gonna go all the way to the end of the hallway. We're gonna back up against the door, and we're going to do the punch kick combo in first person. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna actually put Raiden's leg far enough through the door into the loading trigger and skip the fight completely.
It will. And also, what you just saw me swing that sword, this is how Metal Gear Rising starts.
Rules of nature.
Which I will run next pixels for P4. Why did I go prone? That was interesting. I didn't press the button. Oh well.
The scope.
Oh really? I didn't know that. I didn't even realize it auto equipped. We're gonna kill this one dude so he doesn't interrupt us. Oh, Snake, please go away. Snake, please go away. Thank you. See, as you can see, we hit the loading zone. Go through.
Don't tell SDA we're using glitches.
Oh no. So that's the first. That's the first fight done. But now we have a second one in this long tubular room. Tubular dude. But on any difficulty that's not European Extreme, there is a skip for this, but it's incredibly not fun to try and do, and very inconsistent. So on anything above, or sorry, anything below European Extreme, we just kind of deal with it our own way.
Oh, by the way, famous fishing mail. If anybody remembers anything about MGS2, it's not the characters, it's the fishing mail.
Daily reminder, the fish has in fact been mailed. If you do not receive your fish within the next 3 to 5 business days, please contact your local post office.
So we can shoot something. He can die. Like killing him would be. I wish he'd get out of the way so I stop walking onto him. Killing him would be a feat. Like he's really tanky boy, and we're all done with this fight now. So that's Tengu 2. That's classed as a boss fight.
It is. Not. Tengu 1 is. In terms of boss rush, Tengu 1 is the boss fight. Tengu 2 is just skipped completely over.
Yeah, unless you're on PAL PS2, in which case there is no Tengu or Dark.
So we're coming up on what many people consider to be the most fun part of the game. We're also on the part of the game where most people consider it the worst part of the game, which is raids.
Yeah, all 3 of them on this difficulty.
Yep, only got to deal with 3 rays on very easy. On harder difficulties, it's a little more comprehensive. But well, not only that, but there also becomes so in a speedrun of a higher difficulty, the rays are actually not. So each individual ray's health bar is not the trigger for counting the end of the fight. That is actually done by the amount of health damage you do to the rays. So on harder difficulties, that becomes more prevalent, but on very easy, you only have to deal with the 3, and they take few enough shots as is.
Yeah, like on European Extreme, I think it's 30 health bars worth of damage you need to do. It takes 20, so it's like it's like a 5.5, 6 minute ordeal. It's a week for me. But as you can see on very easy,
yeah, so it's like like on all difficulties, 3 health bars. So if Iridescence was to not hit this ray in the mouth and just hit another one in the head, that would be the fight over. You know, if he didn't do an open mouth shot. It's the cumulative destruction of health bars that matters.
Yes.
So on very easy, you'll always finish with those 3, but on like Euro Extreme, like Python was saying, you'll usually finish somewhere around the D's or the E's.
You'll usually have an E series ray on your health bar HUD.
Yeah.
Like the only exception to this rule is on Sons of Liberty on the original PS2 version for the US. It's done by the amount of rays. See, it's actually 20 rays as opposed to 12 bars, which makes the fight weird because like the strat for the fight on like Euro Extreme, and I just talked about this while we're being choked and has cutscenes to skip, is to just dish out as much damage to as many as possible, but that just gets flipped on its head for that one version. because it's about the number of rays you kill, so you're trying to kill as many rays. It's just a bloody nightmare.
Alrighty, so Vin, if there's any more donations, this will be your last chance because this is the final boss. Maddox, time will end upon the last hit on this boss. It'll be pretty obvious when it happens. Like, I chunk his health bar pretty huge. So,
We don't have any donations, but I am still here to this.
alright, well, I guess you can read them out after the game because I've got like 2 minutes left.
Come on, everybody donate, damn it.
Yeah, so I personally think this boss should never have ever been made. The game should have ended at Raze, or at least had Raze
Yeah.
as the final boss. But
Pretty much.
I
I think that's like the general consensus, really, isn't it?
we have to do this. By the way, keep a close look on the portrait of. Did I miss it?
ないね。
All right, so we're gonna do this for a bit of fun. We have some time. I missed it, but he like gets really inside out, and it scared me as a child. Like it scarred me for
Oh,
life.
it gives me the fear still, dude.
So we're gonna hit him. We're gonna make him dodge, run to his side. Oh my god, please behave. There we go. And hit him 3 times. He falls over. We have no choice over that. On very easy, he's a pussy. So now we just roll past the missiles. So now we hit him 3 times, and we'll move away. Roll past the missiles. Hit him 3 times. That's the end of the first phase. We're gonna roll over here. Oh, we got a quick animation. Even went to the other side. What a lovely blow.
Basically solid. The most anticlimactic boss in the whole game.
Yeah. And so now he's gonna dash around like he's had a little too much red cordial. And he's also on fire. He's gonna hit us 3 times and I'll block the ball. I'm gonna run to his side and stagger him for 3 hits. I'm gonna run away and hope he tries to elbow me. He did, perfect, and that's the time. And that is Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, the high definition collection version. There is some different.
Definition collection version.
If you want me to go the full category, it is high definition collection version on PS3, not game over if discovered, not loading trick. Look, it's really bad and it's a bit of a meme. But at the end of the day, it wasn't an awful run. I mean, Vamp was a hot mess, but all things considered, that could have gone wrong. I'll take Vamp misbehaving.
I mean, it was pretty decent. It's pretty good. You know, for a marathon at the end of the day, you know?
Marathon at 2 in the morning. HD confusion, very easy. That's pretty much it. Annex.
次の世代に伝
Never
えた
happened
いことが
But look,
生きるものは全て
this game is probably, I think it's the most run
赤ちゃんのこと
game
Oh, absolutely it is.
for Metal Gear Solid.
でも人が伝えるのはそれだけじゃない
I do not
遺伝情報に
recommend
記録されてい
picking
ない
up
もの
picking up
俺たちはそのこと
very
を
easy as your
子
first
供たちに
difficulty.
伝え続け
I
なけれ
would
ばならない
recommend normal
どんな
because
こと
Nah, you're extra.
環境
very be
思
quiet.
想
Very easy teaches you a lot of bad habits, like the fact that your alerts are wiped after changing routes, etc. Like that doesn't happen in the
俺
other
たちはそれを
difficulties.
未来
So
に伝えるんだ
I recommend if you want to learn this game, learn normal.
プロポーズ
We have a Discord, which is MGSR. You can find us on speedrun.com. You can find them on my Twitch page. You can find us everywhere. We're around.
MetalGearSpeedrunners.com.
Yes, we have a website which includes a wiki with all the strats you need to learn. So
we have a website. Do you?
Get your website today. Don't delay. Website today. So yeah, come and say hello. We've got helpers. We've got plenty of people willing to help you get into the game, and we cater for every Metal Gear game in existence, including like some really weird Christmas Metal Gear game called Merry Gear Solid.
Merry Gear. Merry Gear's pretty cool game,
So,
I guess.
alright, that's me. Next up is gonna be this Irish fella you've heard. He's gonna be running the next installment in this series,
Ooh.
which is actually
Who's
40
that?
years before this game. So,
Oh god, it's much more than 40 years. It's more like 50 years, I think.
this is what, 2010? No,
Yeah, something like that.
2010, and that's 1945. It's a long time.
Yeah.
Look, Look,
I missed the memo here.
it's very late.
1964.
64, is it? There you go. It's
Shadow
40
Moses
years,
was
50
40 years prior.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
So, yeah, next up is that run.
after that shambles.
Yeah, that's a mess. Look, next up is another
Course,
Metal
follow
Gear game.
Iridescence.
This
No more
is,
Metal Gear.
yeah, I
Who am I? Am I not unique? Maybe I'm not here at all.
Metal Gear Solid 3. We're gonna see the rope skip in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're gonna see the perfect run tomorrow for Super Mario Galaxy 2. Kirby's Dream Land. It's gonna have a custom color palette, and Final Fantasy. Remember, dude, I think it's 14 is a Google fight. There's a speedrun of Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. My push to talk is all, so I've downloaded like 30 websites right now. We don't have any more donations to be read right now, so I guess let's get some tunes going. Also, oh, real quick, don't forget about our raffle prizes. They're on screen right now. That Rockman 7 repo cart from the Pit Vault is really dope. I want it. So, let's hit it with some tunes, man.